CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go.
Hi there, I'm Pat Stetzer, and welcome to a special episode of Game On. We're about to wrap up the 2023-24 Carroll County winter sports season like nobody else. So let's not waste any more time. It's Game On. The winter season started back in early December and it continued into mid-March, and CMSportsNet was there every step of the way. We chronicled county championships and watched teams make deep playoff runs. We recognized some of the top athletes from around Carroll and followed their progress throughout the winter. Now it's time to take a final look back at the season. You'll hear from the basketball and wrestling county championship coaches, and by the end of our show, we'll unveil the CMSportsNet Players of the Year for the winter. Let's tip things off with boys basketball, where one county team made program history and another got to within one game of a state tournament appearance. Time to look at the final Carroll County boys hoop standings. Manchester Valley captured their first county championship in program history. More on that in a little bit. South Carroll came out of that three-way tie in second place based on head-to-head tiebreakers, and you see 5 of the 7 teams finished with 500 or better seasons in the CCAL. Now we take a look at some of the season stats leaders, starting with scoring. 4 players averaged 14 or more points per game. Man Valley's Brendan Luddy led the way at 14.5. Ben Chenoweth from Century had that same average, but he missed some time with an injury. South Carroll had 2 players near the top of the scoring leaders in Peter Borgens and Micah Puckett, as did Francis Scott Key with Jordan Fulmore and Tyler Hansen. Let's go over to rebounds now. You can see the battle of the big guys in Carroll County. John Donald led the way there with 9.5 per game. Benson Sommerfeld right behind him, and Alex Thompson and Tristan West had a good tandem as well for Liberty. The assist leaders will be next, and you'll see Cole Jernigan from Liberty led the way, 4.7 assists per game. His crosstown rival Peyton Conway right behind him, and there's Tyler Hansen, so 3 guys with 4 or more assists per game in Carroll County. And then steals is our last category, and Tyler Hansen leads the way there, 3 assists per game. Darnell Harkless from Westminster played in a little less games, but he was at 2.5, and there are 3 Liberty players on that top sheet there for stat leaders, so a good job by everybody throughout the county. Okay, time to go through each county team in more depth, and we will start with Century. The Knights were 11-4 at one point, but February brought some inconsistency, and they finished at 14-9, 3-3 in the county. Ben Chenoweth led Century in scoring, who you just saw, and Peyton Conrad added 10.6 points and 4.3 assists for the Knights. Francis Scott Key improved from a season ago, but the Eagles posted a 4-19 record, and they went 0-12 in Carroll County. They did get 13 points and 6 rebounds per game from standout Jordan Fulmore, and Tyler Hansen gave them 11.8 points and a county best 3 steals per game. Liberty had a season similar to rival Century. The Lions went from 10-5 and finishing 13-10. They went 8-4 in the CCAL. Alex Thompson was second in the county at 14.1 points per game, and Cole Jernigan, who you just saw a minute ago, led the county with 4.7 assists per game for Liberty. South Carroll won a pair of playoff games and reached the regional final before ending the season at 14-10, and like we said, they did go 8-4 in Carroll County. Big man Benson Sommerfeld averaged close to a double-double, and Peter Borgens led SC in scoring at 11.7 points per game. The Cavaliers beat rival Liberty 3 times this winter, and they also handed Manchester Valley a county loss. Westminster started 2-8 and found it tough to recover. The Owls finished up at 10-13 and 3-9 in Carroll County, but they had some bright spots. John Donald, who led the county with 9.5 rebounds per game, and guard Micah Osgar scored 10 points per game this winter for Westminster. Winners Mill battled for the county crown, and the Falcons finished up 13-11, 8-4 in the CCAL. Owen Case led the way for Big Mill with 14 points per game, and Camden Cook grabbed 7.5 rebounds. The Falcons outlasted county champion Manchester Valley in overtime back in January. Speaking of Manchester Valley, they captured the school's first boys basketball county title, and the Mavericks went 15-8 and 9-3 in the Carroll County Athletic League. They crafted an 8-game winning streak to head into the playoffs behind top performer Brendan Luddy, whose name you saw earlier on the stat sheets. And now it's time to go a little more in depth with the Mavericks. I'm joined now by Manchester Valley boys basketball coach Chris Wunder. Coach, thanks for being with us today. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Coach Wunder led the Mavericks to a 15-win season and a 9-3 record against Carroll County teams. The Mavericks won their first ever county championship along the way. Coach, what comes to mind when you think about this year's county champion team? What are the first couple things you think of? Because it was a great season.
I would say fun. They were a fun group to be around and coach with our coaching staff and our players. Everyone got along. There was no drama this year, and they worked hard.
Yeah.
They were really driven to win this year, and our goal was to win the championship, and we stuck with that the whole year.
And it paid off in the end. You had that 6-0 start in the county, and then hit a bit of a lull. What were the one or two things that helped turn things around? Because from there, you guys really took off.
I think we kind of relaxed a little bit after we beat Century. Then we hit that rough stretch, and I think it was Brendan Luddy that said in the locker room, we didn't work this hard to blow it now.
Okay, yeah.
So we did have a brutal stretch where we had 5 games in 10 days.
Yeah.
And just being able to practice was important for us. So just our senior leadership saying, okay, what are we supposed to be doing?
Right.
We had worked focused on offense, better ball movement, better player movement, and really locking down on defense again.
It just had that leader to say that thing before you guys really spark it and go take it to the next level.
Right, because it could have went either way from that point, losing 4 in a row and 3 in the county.
Right.
And 2 tough county games coming up.
Yeah, and didn't lose again in the county after that. We know Brendan was the leader this season. He had plenty of help. How did you see some of the other guys come into their own because you had that lull, right? You had to really see who was made with that tougher stuff, and obviously more than just Brendan.
Yeah, Carter Stroman was huge this year. He set the school record with 62 made threes.
Wow, okay.
For a season. He worked so hard over the offseason to improve his shooting. And to have him as a threat. Will Cuneo never got credit for everything he did for our team. But just his composure, nothing ever rattled him.
Right, another veteran too.
Another veteran that could go and score for us and bring the ball up when we needed to.
Right.
Then all the other players, Braylon Williams, he battled a toe injury for the first part of the year.
And Scrappy gave you guys minutes.
And started rebounding better and playing better defense and scoring. And he always had to guard the best player of the other team.
There you go, yeah.
Jacob Adami was a surprise this year. We weren't expecting him.
Okay.
So his ability to rebound for us
More
and
size.
play defense.
Yeah, more size for you too.
Because we were really undersized this year.
Yeah.
Then Grant Miller. He hit 5 threes against Westminster. Helped us beat them the second time around.
Right.
Then I want to say Colton Enderley. He went out there and scored 27 points.
Only a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
From against Westminster.
Yep.
So all of those guys, we knew we had weapons.
Right.
And just blending together and working together was crucial.
You can't have a season like that without all those guys pitching in.
Right.
Yeah, well, it definitely paid off for you guys. Yeah. Well, congrats on a fantastic season, but we're not done yet with boys hoops. We have 3 finalists now for CMSportsNet Player of the Year. Let's go ahead and take a look at them now. You see on the screen, we have Man Valley's Brendan Luddy, Liberty's Cole Jernigan, and South Carroll's Benson Summerfelt. Time to talk about each player, and then we'll get some quick thoughts from you, Coach. We'll start with Cole Jernigan. The Lions senior went for 12.9 points per game, second best on his squad, and he averaged 4.7 assists. That was the top mark in Carroll County. Next up, we have Brendan Luddy from your Mavericks, the senior tied for the top scoring average in the county at 14.5 points per game. Also had 3 assists per game for the Carroll County champions. And we have SC junior Benson Summerfelt, who came on, averaged 9.2 points and 8.7 rebounds per game for the county runner-up Cavaliers, who reached the 1A regional finals this season in Class 1A. Coach Wunder, quick thoughts about each player. Start with Cole Jernigan from Liberty. What do you remember most about him?
Oh, he was a competitor. He went out there and he fought every day on the offensive end and defensive end, and his ability to get the ball to the basket.
Yeah.
And whether it was to finish himself, get to the foul line, or create for his other teammates was huge for them.
How about, Brendan Luddy very well. Just what made him rise to the occasion this year, other than what the good speeches he gave at halftime?
He was very confident in his ability, but he was so tough to guard. He could shoot the 3. He could get the ball to the basket. And when he got inside, he could hit the pull-up jump shot. He could post up, and then he would find teammates when people collapsed on him.
When you needed 30, he gave you 30. When you needed the clutch shot, he came through in the clutch as well. How about Benson Summerfelt? I mean, South Carroll maybe made some quiet in the beginning of the season. They came on great at the end of the year. He was one of their leaders for sure.
Oh, yes. I mean, Benson's really the main reason they beat us the second time. He had 19 points, 17 rebounds against us.
That'll do it.
His ability, his ability to rebound was crucial for them, and he just found a way to score inside.
Yeah.
Like, they had a bunch of guards that could put the ball in the basket, and he would always get an offensive rebound or find himself in the post, make a good cut, and able to finish.
Yeah. Well, Coach, again, we thank you for your time, and congratulations again on the first county title in Man Valley history.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Carroll County had a successful indoor track and field season this winter, so let's talk about that for a minute. Manchester Valley won a third straight county meet title on the boys' side with 112.33 points. The Mavericks held off winners on the slimmest of margins for that team victory. Then they placed third overall at the 3A West meet 2 weeks later. On the girls' side, it was Century yet again. The Knights finished with 148 points, won a fifth consecutive team championship. Century won a 2A West meet title after that, and they placed third at states. Well done by the Knights. The county crowned state champions as well. Liberty's boys 4x800 relay team in Class 1A, Westminster's Lucas Michael in the 3A boys pole vault, and Century's Kaylin Stein in the 2A girls 500-meter dash. Congrats to all those athletes. Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.